What's going on, everybody? My name is Terrell with the Y Humphrey, and welcome to another episode of Failure's Knowledge. Here at Failure's Knowledge, we interview powerful people that's pursuing their dreams, not only their dreams, but showing us how we doing it. Today, we got another episode, another guest for my brother, Spank. What it do, man?
What's going on, my guy? You good,
yes,
brother?
Sir. What about yourself? That was horrible. We got to do that again, man.
Yeah, you good, man. What's going on, man?
Man, nothing much, man. Thank you for coming, bro.
It's
Who
all
are you?
good,
What
brother.
you do? And where you from?
All right, well, my name is Spank, but my real name is Mark Keys. I'm originally from Lafayette, Louisiana. For y'all that don't know, that's like bottom of Louisiana, like near the Lake Charles, Baton Rouge area. I'm an entrepreneur. I own a trucking company. I started my trucking company probably like a year ago. I was basically tired of having to work for somebody else, like for somebody to tell me, when I can clock on, when I can clock off, when I can take my vacation time and all that. So I was like, you know what, I gotta invest something in myself for me to become a better person, you know what I'm saying? So I took the risk and it's paying off for the most part, definitely paying off.
So on your jacket it says rapper, athlete, and entrepreneur. But
yes,
rapping
sir.
and athlete is scratched out.
Right.
What is an entrepreneur? For everybody that doesn't know what an entrepreneur is, what is an entrepreneur?
All right, so I feel like there's different takes on entrepreneur, because if you ask a million people, you might get a million different answers. My take on an entrepreneur is a person that is putting up their own bread, their own money, putting up their own lifestyle for something that they're trying to pursue, like as far as an investment, like a different type of business thing, like whether that be trucking, whether that be, if you develop an app, whether that be, if you investing in yourself is you being an entrepreneur and you actually doing that by yourself, for other people,
When I learned what an entrepreneur was, I started to learn how to spell entrepreneur every day. I can't spell it now because I ain't done it in a while, but however, when you really see something, you want to learn more about it, how can you learn about it and actually start doing it?
Honestly, man, my take on that, if you don't know how to do so, like if you want to do something and you're afraid to actually do it, the best way to get started is to just get started and figure it out later. It don't matter if you don't know how to do it, just get started. Because believe it or not, whenever I first started in the trucking industry, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know what a flatbed was. I didn't know what a dry van was. I didn't know what a reefer was. I didn't know what nothing was. I just jumped in and then I just figured it out. And then once I figured it out, it was basically simple. I was like, oh, I got this, man, I got this. And then everything just started coming to me. Man.
Spank, what I've learned, man, we got to actually believe in everything that we're doing.
First.
And it's so scary because we don't see what we can become, right? How are we supposed to become an entrepreneur if an entrepreneur ain't never been talked about and or shown and or we was introduced to them? You know what I mean? Like when you start something, you have to really believe that something is going to come from this. I don't know what it is. I don't know when it's going to come, but I'm going to be persistent with the journey each and every day.
Right.
That takes discipline.
Right, definitely. definitely.
How do you become disciplined within yourself?
I think discipline starts from belief. And I say it starts from belief because if you don't believe that you can do something, like if you truthfully don't believe that you can do it, then you're gonna do it kind of like there's a word that I want to say, but
you're gonna have.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
You're
not gonna put all the effort towards something.
Right.
Okay.
So whenever you actually believe, that's where that discipline comes from, because you're like, all right, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. So every day that you wake up, you're constantly thinking this is gonna happen. Like for instance, LeBron James, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, they all believe that they can do it before they even went to the NBA. Before we all knew who LeBron James was, who Dwayne Wade was, who Kobe Bryant was, they was already putting in the work like ahead of time to actually become who they are. You know what I'm saying? And that applies for anything, for doctors, nurses, for politicians, for anything, for any field that you're in. You just have to believe ahead of time that you can do it before you actually do it. That's the truth.
And I've been studying Kobe for a little minute, right?
Yeah.
Kobe was so resilient, so he pushed through the hard times, even
Yeah.
though the hard times were presented to him.
Yeah.
Right. It was a documentary that he was talking about, and well, that somebody was talking about him, and he was saying how he played his. He was in the playoff games, and he missed 5 airball shots. He missed 5 airball shots. A lot of people will miss 1 airball and stop shooting.
Yeah.
Kobe shot 5 times and airballed.
Right.
But see, the thing about Kobe that he wanted to get better.
Yeah.
Discipline it sounds easy. It sounds easy,
Yeah.
okay? But how do you incorporate that in your own life? How do you add discipline and learn about it each and every day for yourself?
Just off of failures, like whenever I fail to do something right, you know, I'm constantly trying to figure out what went wrong, and then after I figure out what went wrong, then I'm figuring out how to make it better, you know. And again, that discipline goes back to the belief system. The belief system is so important because that's going to be the GPS and your guidance system to where you're trying to go in life, because failure is going to happen. Failure is going to come at you, and it's going to knock at your door every day. And sometimes you're going to open up the door. You're going to open up the door thinking that it's not failure the whole time. It is failure. But through failure, you find success. And that's the God honest truth. So whenever you keep failing, you're learning. Now, that's not to say, you know, like once you keep failing and keep making the same mistake, at that point it's just becoming stupid, you know, like it's time to switch something up. But once you keep failing and you realize, all right, wait, this didn't work, let me try this. Wait, this didn't work, let me try this, you know. You just learn from failure. And again, belief, man. That's important, man. Belief, man, because that's where discipline comes from. Belief. If you don't believe that you can do it, then you ain't gonna have no discipline. If you don't believe that you're trying to be the best point guard, you ain't gonna be the best point guard. You ain't. If you don't believe that you can't be the best quarterback, you're not gonna be the best quarterback.
When I was playing football, my 9th and 10th grade year, I was not good. I played junior varsity. I didn't play on Fridays, but I played with the younger.
Yeah, I got you on Wednesdays.
Yeah, 9th and 10th grade. Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So as I'm playing, I didn't understand what I needed to do in order to start playing on Fridays. It didn't hit me until my 10th grade year. And once it hit me so bad because I was in the position and I wasn't comfortable in that position. I was playing nickelback. I was a DB. So I had to, instead of running forward, I had to run backwards and learn how to turn my body and adjust it. A lot of people are fast.
Yeah.
Faster than me. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had to really, I wasn't good at that spot.
Yeah.
But they gave me the opportunity to play a linebacker. When they gave me the opportunity to play a linebacker, something happened. It just sparked because I've been playing linebacker my whole entire life.
Right.
But what I didn't learn is that everything that goes behind this journey and actually keeping your position, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of studying, it's a lot of dedication, it's a lot of growth, it's a lot of learning. You have to believe everything that you're doing today is not for today, it's for tomorrow.
Yep.
But I didn't understand that in my 9th to 10th grade year. I understood that my 11th grade year. And that's the thing about time. It doesn't stop.
Right.
You have countless amount of time and effort to figure things out, but how much are you putting into yourself?
Right.
Discipline is hard. I had to study the plays and the game and the other team each and every night.
Right,
I had to hit the weights and run and condition every day. But see, what looked easy in present times is not always easy because of the work that has to go on behind the scenes.
Right.
But we don't see that. We see the present moment today. For discipline, right? You said power of belief is incredible. That is true. But how can somebody start believing in themselves?
To start believing in themselves, I think it starts from knowing who you are, or even if you don't know who you are yet, it's all about kind of like figuring out who you are. You know, like for the youth coming up, man, I was really, I didn't know who I was, and I was always trying to fit in. You know, like no matter what I was trying to do, I was trying to fit in. And it wasn't until I was like maybe about, I would say 17, 18, where I realized being myself was key to what I was looking for, you know? And whenever I found that, that's whenever I really started to tap into my entrepreneur spirit. And I was like, man, my belief became like so high, you know? Like I just started to attract people around me. I started to attract different situations around me. And this is whenever I was like 17, 18, believe it or not, man. I used to do like the promotion stuff, the party stuff. So being that I was in that type of atmosphere, that type of environment, and just being myself, that taught that entrepreneur spirit in me, you know. So just trying to figure out who you are, not trying to fit in, and just actually being yourself. Whenever you become yourself and not trying to be like, you know, like Polo G, or try to be like Young Boy, or try to be like Rod Wave. Whenever you are you, you know, things come fluently, and that belief starts to actually just come out, you know, like and then after that belief, that discipline comes, you know. So yeah.
So it sounds like another word for belief is confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
So that as I'm learning this, you have to be comfortable with yourself in order to start growing.
Yeah.
But as you're growing into a new version of yourself.
Yeah.
What's happening is that we don't see who we can become because we're so present and caught in today's time rather than the future.
Right.
Confident can be mistaken for cockiness. How do you remain confident and not cocky?
I like that one. That's a good one. I was just talking to my boys the other day about that, man. Knowing that you're a human being and knowing that you're not better than anyone else, but still being in your frame, like still being confident, still being like, man, I got this. Still, like, one of the most confident people that I really like is Deion Sanders, man. Like he does it so well, but at the same time, he's humble at the same time. So it's cool to know that you're the best, but understand that you're still human and you still make mistakes, you know? But just knowing that you are the best, and it's okay to have that confidence and walk and talk and just bring it, like show that you are that confident, you know, because you're the only person that can do that for you. Whenever you in a dark room and whenever the world starts to, you know, feel like it starts to fall apart, you're the only person that's in that time. You're the only person that's in that frame. So that confidence level has to be there. So whenever you still have that confidence level, even in the dark, walk out in the light with that same confidence level, but understand that your confidence level shouldn't, you know, outshine anyone else, you know? Like, give other people the floor and the chance to actually shine. Don't be like, oh man, nah, you cannot shine. I'm the only one that could shine. You know, nah, we could all shine as a one. It just doesn't have to be one person.
There's a saying that I really like. Would you rather have 100% of a grape or 10% of a watermelon? I'm going with the watermelon.
Hey, I have to think about that, man. I have to think about that. Yeah, I have to think about that. I think I will probably pick the watermelon too, man.
Why? Because so let me explain the analogy first.
Yeah.
So the analogy is the grape is so small.
Right.
You can have 100% of the grape.
Right.
But the watermelon is so big because
Right.
we come together collectively as one.
Right.
Now, when you get a piece of somebody, you still got a big portion of the watermelon to give away. Mm-hmm. When you eat the whole grape, you ain't got nothing else to give. You feel me? So it's like, as a person, as an individual, as somebody that really believes in yourself, we have to understand that we can't do everything by ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
It's scary.
Definitely.
You said something about adversity. The word is called adversity, how the door gets open and you walk into it and it gets slammed on you. Mm-hmm. How are you doing mentally?
Mentally is, first off, that's the toughest battle that we're gonna face just as human beings. And as y'all coming up, that's something that y'all really have to take care of, because the mental can destroy you. Like, it can really destroy you quicker than this outside world can. You know, like there's this saying, it's always you versus you. It's always you versus you. Your mental is everything. And if your mental isn't right, then you're gonna lose sight of everything. Like, I mean, you are really gonna lose sight. Your mental is very, very, very important. So whenever you feel yourself like not really thinking right, or, you know, like not really like getting in tune with what you're supposed to be doing, If you gotta take a break and go play the game, go outside, take a walk, go to the gym, do that. But never let your mental get so clogged up, or never let another person take control of your mental, because your brain, this thing that's right here, is literally going to be the thing that's going to make your future. Like, really, it doesn't matter what's going on the outside world. This right here is the thing that's going to make or break you, just period. This is the smartest thing that we have on us, and it's the most powerful thing that we have on us. And if we waste it, then we just gonna be average, and we just gonna start accepting whatever is whatever. But whenever you tap into this and you really tap into it, man, hey man, you unstoppable, man. You unstoppable, man, for real.
And by unstoppable, you actually talking about having belief and confidence in yourself.
Yes.
So everything ties back into each other, because if we don't understand it, we can't grow. We can't really become the person that we desire to become.
Right.
It's crazy. I wrote a book, and a lot of people tell you that to control your mental, right?
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal advice. But how do you do that, right? Like, how are you going through life controlling everything that you're going through in order to start growing? Like, how do you do that?
Well, one is, practicing healthy habits, and I know that as humans we tend to mess up, we all mess up, but it's all about practicing healthy habits, like doing things that make you happy and not participating in certain conversations or not participating in certain environments that cause you to think differently or cause you to have to, get mad or angry, so it's really just all about practicing safe habits, like practicing those safe habits that you feel is healthy for your situation. And I know just being young, is kind of hard to focus on something without you being like, oh, I'm not doing this because this is not cool, or I'm not doing this because this is not cool, but just whenever you can start practicing safe, healthy habits at an early age, it kind of is back to that self-development, that discipline, that belief system that helps you grow, If they have some athletes that's in here, I know y'all know about the discipline rule, man. Definitely. That definitely goes a long way. And controlling your mental too, man. Practicing safe and healthy habits.
And I want to add on to that. Multiple ways that we can figure out how to control our mental is to write down our thoughts on paper. Because what's happening is that we are going through things, we are going through life, but as we're going through life, we don't know how to communicate that to the next person.
Yeah.
Right? So I've learned the best way to really connect with your emotions, control your mental, and have the confidence within yourself, you have to learn how to communicate to yourself first.
Yep.
Not only to yourself, but on paper. Not only on paper, just everything that you're dealing with. Because what's happening is that we get so stuck in the journey, we forget about the process, and the process is becoming overwhelming. When it becomes overwhelming, this is the time we have to really be in tune with ourselves.
Yeah.
Really get to know ourselves, be comfortable with ourselves. Writing down your thoughts is more than just a pen and paper. It's like really, you're talking to yourself, but you're really journaling in how everything has went.
Right.
In my book, I got I have 10 different things that you can write down and express how you're feeling. For an entrepreneur, right? What was the biggest battle that you had to face for yourself?
The biggest battle that I had to face for myself is going back to what you said about not doing everything by yourself. I actually had to let certain things go, as far as, like certain assignments, like that I had within my company. I had to let it go and had to let other people take control of certain things that I was trying to do. So the biggest thing as an entrepreneur was knowing that I can't do it all by myself. If a quarterback could win the whole game by itself, then there wouldn't be these other players.
Yesterday I was just thinking, you know how Michael Jordan is the GOAT of everything that he's done? Everybody don't speak about the other players who was on the team.
Yeah.
Michael didn't do them by himself. I mean, he played a big part in it. However, as a team, somebody's going to get the reward.
Yep.
And that's absolutely fine. As we're playing our roles in our different positions in life, we have to understand we cannot do everything.
Yep.
That was my problem. I'm trying to do everything, trying to juggle like 20 things all at once. The 20 thing ain't getting as much as the attention as the first one and the second and so on and so forth. But it's really overwhelming when you try to do things by yourself. Just like you said, a quarterback can't play a defensive end position.
Right.
Why? Because they're not built to play defense.
Right.
You feel me? They're just built to throw the ball. They built to run the team. They built to play their position.
Right. Yep.
How did it feel to transition from doing everything to building a team around yourself?
It relieved certain stresses off of my mental, and it gave me room to actually go out and do different things that I couldn't do whenever I was just focused on just trying to do everything by myself. So it gave me more time and more, and less stress to not, to be able to go out and just do whatever I wanted to do, kind of, sort of,
That's powerful. That's powerful. All right, so we're going to open the floor for questions. Does anybody would like to ask questions? What's our YouTube channel name? You got YouTube?
No, I don't got a YouTube. I don't got a YouTube. I got an Instagram, but I don't got a YouTube.
Do y'all have Instagram? Y'all got Instagram? No? Yeah.
No, he already got your YouTube channel.
Oh, I'm like, bro, what is that? I can't even. Okay, my bad. you can just get my YouTube from him. How do you get disciplined with your business, cut off certain bad habits?
I'll be honest with you, man. They have certain habits that I haven't cutting off yet, but certain bad habits that I feel like would kind of destroy my business or hinder it. I cut it off because I just knew that it would hinder my business. So if you do start a business, whatever you feel is going to harm your business or not be profitable for your business, I feel like it's kind of like a natural sense for you to almost cut it off. So like, say if you have a chance at making $500,000, but you have this one thing that you're doing wrong that's causing you to not make that, you're gonna cut off that one thing that's causing that. It's like common sense then.
Before, remember your question, let me answer yours. So in life, as you're growing and learning more about yourself, there's multiple things that you have to work on. Before you even get a business, you need to just work on yourself. Yeah. Because what's happening is that you're growing into a young man, young woman, and we don't understand all aspects of life that goes behind this. Self-discipline, belief, growth, spiritually connected, emotionally connected, like relationship connected. There's so much that we have to work on. So before you even start a business, you need to work on yourself, because as you're working on yourself, you understand who you are. Because then if you get a business, let's just say hypothetically speaking, you start a business, but now you're reacting off your emotions. If something goes wrong, you're reacting off your emotions because you didn't control it in the beginning. And it's so vital to put yourself first, to learn everything who you are, so that way as you're growing, if you want to have a business, if you want to pursue, be a police officer, a fire department, go in the military. I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years. If you want to do that, you have to, yourself come first. When you come first is when you start to grow. Does that make sense?
That's a good question, man. So I realized that whenever I realized that no one is coming to save me, basically, like whenever I realized that it's me versus me, like I said a few minutes ago, and whenever I realized that, man, I'm failing and I gotta be the one to pick me up. So whenever I was the one to pick me up and constantly pick me up, that began to also build confidence within myself. Whenever I couldn't go to my mom or my sister or my homies to be like, hey man, am I doing this wrong? Am I doing that wrong? What should I do? Should I do this? Whenever I knew the direction that I wanted to go in, and whenever I knew that the direction that I wanted to go in wasn't the norm, like knowing where I come from, being an entrepreneur and starting your own business and doing that, that's not normal, you know. So I can't go to my mom and be like, hey mom, what should I do? Like, should I quit my job and should I start doing all this? Off dump, she's probably gonna say, son, are you crazy? Like, you tripping, you know? So whenever I realized, you know, back to what he was talking about, whenever I realized who I was, and whenever I realized, you know, who I was and what I wanted to do, that built that confidence, and that allowed me to be like, man, all right, cool. I gotta be my own hero. I gotta lift myself up whenever I'm down. Even if I got people that can do it for me, you still gotta master it within yourself. Because what if one day, whenever you having a bad day and you really having a mentally bad day and you can't call anyone because, you know, everybody busy, you gotta somehow muscle up and just get it together within yourself, man, like, hey, I got this, and that's where those healthy habits come from, you know. So if you like to go work out and just don't worry about whatever you facing. Go work out. After you're done working out, I guarantee you're gonna feel 10 times better, you know. Or even if you got to you know, get spiritually inclined with yourself and just start to know who you are. Whenever you know who you are, it's going to open up so much doors for you. Like, you're going to really start to follow your own purpose, and you're going to start to become you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to start to live for yourself. You're going to start to apply pressure for yourself, and you're going to find that confidence to do whatever you want to do, regardless of what anybody say. Because whenever you find out what you want to do, there's going to be people that's going to tell you that you can't do it. There's going to be people that's telling you, that's asking you why you're doing it, and there's going to be people that's just watching you. But you got to be that person to be like, I still got this. I still got this. Even if you're missing 50 shots, I still got this. I still got this. I still got this.
I've learned you cannot please everybody, which means that, and it took me a long time to learn this, because I'm still learning it now today. Meaning you can't please everybody, meaning that somebody's not going to like you. Somebody's going to like you. Cool. Go to the person that likes you rather than trying to force and convince somebody to go with you. Because what's happening is that you want to, you know what convincing mean? So you want to convince somebody that, I'm sorry. The person that don't want to be around you, you trying to convince them to be with you because you're trying to prove something to them. In reality, it's like, why? You know what I mean? Like, people gonna rock with you for you. Like, prime example, how I met Spank, right? Spank. Yeah. I just went, babe, I'm sorry. No, how I met Spank, we was in the restaurant. I forgot what restaurant we was in. But I was on the phone and he walked in. And I met him last week. Yeah. When you work on yourself, you attract people that's like you. If I didn't work on myself, this conversation probably would not be going on. But since I did start learning myself and identifying that everybody's not for me. If it's 20 people over here and one person over here that's rocking with me, I'm going with the one person. I don't need to be with the 20. Why? Because I'm gonna have to do a lot of convincing and talking and persuading. No. Be with people that want to see you grow and understand that you have something to offer. When you have something to offer, this person has something to offer as well. He has something to offer. I have something to offer. That is what a relationship is. Yeah. You be around people to where you can grow with, rather than you always giving. And it's like, when am I going to get some? You know what I mean? So you always want to reciprocate the energy off of each other. And you only do that when you start working on yourself.
You just have to have that will to know that you already have your end game, you know? So whenever you start something, you're not starting it based off the opinions of other people. You're starting it because you already know what you want and you already see what you want. So that should be your engine to why you're trying to, you know, to get to the next level. And even whenever you're trying to get to the next level, the elevator is going to stop a few times, and a few people is going to get on the elevator. And a lot of those people is going to tell you, why are you doing this? that don't even sound good, you know. But you already know that you still going up levels, so you gotta keep that mental like, all right, I already know what I'm doing. As long as you know what you're doing and you have a plan behind what you're doing, what anybody else says doesn't matter. If it's not helping you and it's not actually adding value to what you're trying to build, don't even listen to them. Do not listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Because if you listen to them, it could hinder you. Whenever I say hinder, it could put a stop to what you're trying to do. You know, it could put some type of, it could just stop you from doing what you're trying to do. So whenever you got people that's telling you that you can't do something, just do it. Just keep on doing it. And a lot of the times it comes from the people that's close to us, which affects us 10 times more. You know, but regardless of whatever, you already know what you want to do, and this is your life. Don't nobody got to wake up with the mistakes or the choices that you will make. So you have to make it for your life, regardless of what anybody else says. So if they tell you no, keep on going if that's something that you want to do.
You watch sports?
Yes.
Who's your favorite? What kind of sports do you watch?
Basketball, football.
Who's your favorite basketball player? Steph Curry. You think he was able to make all them threes when you start watching him? When he was in Davidson College, he was actually perfecting his craft. Did you know he went to I think it's called Davidson College? Did you know that? He got in the NBA because he was persistent with it. Luckily, his dad was already in the NBA, so he had a support system. Where everybody's not as fortunate, as lucky as Steph is, which means when you believe in something, you really have to work at everything that you want to do in order to accomplish everything that you put your mind to. You know Steph because he's a shooter. You know he's a shooter because he don't stop running around. I don't know if you watch his highlights. As soon as he get the ball, pass the ball, he's running around, but he doesn't stop. He does not stop. He does not stop. I'm thinking, how is this man so energetic? Because he worked on his craft. I'm pretty sure he had a lot of people that said that you can't do what you're doing at this level. But he's 6 foot.
Yep.
He's not that tall. I'm only 5'7", okay? But he's 6 foot, a point guard, and he's killing the game. Why? Because he didn't care about what other people said to him. He kept perfecting his craft. He kept shooting at the logo. He kept shooting at half court. He kept shooting the threes. He kept doing what he was good at because he believed in himself so much. So when you believe in yourself, you don't need other people's validation or okay to say you can do something. Give yourself the okay to say, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do, no matter what.
Well, it just so happened the business that I had got into, the overhead costs wasn't as much, you know. So,
What is overhead?
All right, so the overhead cost is basically the total cost of everything that I would have to put in for the company. So whenever I put it in, you know, I just started profiting, not right away, but eventually I started profiting. But if you know that you want to start something and you genuinely believe that that's what you want to do, you know, you're gonna find a way to save for it, you know. So like if you want the new J's that's coming out, and you know that you gotta save up $400, you're gonna find money to save up. You know, you're gonna save that money up, so you can use that same, you know, sense like in a business, you know. So luckily I just didn't have to put up much for the business that I started, man.
To even piggyback of what he said, has anybody heard the terminology invest in yourself? Oh, okay, cool. So for the ones that did not hear what investing in yourself is, it means to put money into yourself in order to start growing, right? Prime example, look at the equipment that's here. This wasn't cheap. It was not cheap. I got camera, I got tripod, lights, and I'm still building. But if I want to do something, I want to pursue my dream, my goal, I have to invest the money and effort into myself, because over time it's going to come back tenfold. What's happening is that we investing is good. I don't have any investments right now. My biggest investment is myself. You all biggest investment is yourself. So don't worry about getting investments right now. Just worry about working on yourself. The profit and the money is going to come later on down the line. But you have to start with yourself and invest everything that you have into what you look like, into your appearance, to your communication, to your skills, to your education, to everything.
All right, so first, like I said, my overhead startup costs wasn't very high. So I actually came in on the dispatching side. So whenever I started to dispatch, that's where I started to learn about, so whenever I dispatch, it means that I find loads, the 18-wheelers or the big dually trucks. So I find loads for those trucks, and that's how I started off. And I started to get like 1 client, 2 clients, 3 clients, 4 clients, 5 clients. And if you do like, each client is probably making like a minimum of $5,000 a week, and I basically get a percentage off of that. So after I did that, I was like, man, I think I should just go ahead and just start my own trucking company, period. So I went ahead and I got my MC and my US DOT number, which that is that's the only way that I can have an actual company truck go, in and out of state lines. So whenever I got my US DOT number, basically my authority, I leased on trucks to my company, and I was able to just finesse through that situation. But I started from dispatching.
I don't have a trucking business.
Well, I don't drive trucks. But what made me get into the trucking industry, man, I'm gonna be honest. I just got tired of working for somebody. I got tired of working for somebody, and something just told me to start a business. And it just so happened that I have homies that they're in the trucking business. So I was like, man, I might as well just go ahead and see what the trucking business about. And whenever I went ahead and I seen, yeah, it just came.
There's multiple ways to get into trucking.
Yeah.
You don't just have to drive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can own the truck, you can push the trucks out. There's different ways to do things. So don't just limit yourself.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Stressful. Stressful.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. It was all that. But I was very, it made me have a sense of independence. Like it was for me, like if you buy a car, you don't have to, if somebody make you mad and you live with them, you can just get in your car and you can just drive. You don't have to answer to anybody. You can just do that. So just having that company, it just made me feel my independence went up. Like knowing that I had something that not a single soul could take away from me. And it just made me feel powerful because it's something that I'm the boss of and something that I can control.
So to add on to that, to answer your question, y'all know this is like a broadcasting company. So I'm starting my own business as well. Not only is it a broadcasting company, I'm a public speaker, I'm an author. I have multiple things that's behind me, but there's multiple ways that you can go. You know what I mean? So I just want to put that in. But when I started, it was stressful because I didn't know what I was doing. But I started, but the answers came as I kept pushing along the process. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard, but this didn't come overnight. He's not here overnight. What y'all seeing today is over the years and journey that we all have been through.
I'll tell you what, man. I rarely speak on this subject, but me and my partner, maybe like a while back, it was probably like maybe, 7, 8 years ago, we was having a conversation, and we would always have certain conversations about starting our own business and being our own bosses. And he had got caught up in some situations, and he ended up getting murdered. And just having our conversations motivated me to continue what I'm doing now. So whenever I'm like feeling like I don't want to do this, or whenever I feel like, man, what am I doing? You know, I think back to those conversations, you know, and that just keeps me on the up and up, and it keeps me going.
To add in on that as well, as you're pursuing what you want to do, it's not going to be easy. It is not. And I say that because you have to do things that will make you uncomfortable. You have to really get uncomfortable in different positions of your life, and to say, I can do this. When you have belief in yourself, you're not just only believing in yourself, you're believing in the journey. But the journey is so scary because we don't know and see what's on the other side. That is okay. The other side is going to be presented as you're taking daily action. The motivation comes and goes daily. There's multiple days I don't feel like doing nothing. There's multiple days I don't feel like recording. There's multiple days I don't feel like getting in front of people. And I'm being honest. The motivation comes and goes, but as long as your goal within yourself is still in your like inside of you, you're gonna find a way to push through. Some days you need to rest, some days you don't, but you're gonna always find a way to figure out what you want to figure out. What made you want to start your business, and then what?
Man, well, what made me start my business, of course, was, like I said, just want that independence. And again, like we was talking about earlier, the belief and confidence and discipline comes from, you know, that basically helps you to not listen to other people whenever they tell you that you can't do it, whenever they tell you that you shouldn't do it, whenever they tell you that you shouldn't start it, whenever they tell you just all kind of negative stuff. So just having that confidence, man, like having that confidence.
Belief, self-discipline, everything that we're talking about, it goes into that, because if you put your belief in somebody else, you already failed.
Yeah.
Because this person don't know your belief or what you want to do. But the second we give our control to the next person, now we're dependent on this person to give us, make decisions for us. But when you believe so hard in yourself and become disciplined over time, nobody can tell you nothing. Well, they can tell you something, but you're listening. You're not listening to judge, you're listening to understand. You try to shut down your business? Like, as far as what? Like a lawsuit?
Like any people that say, don't do this.
Me personally, I definitely haven't yet, but I'm pretty sure I might in the future, but nah, I definitely haven't.
The naysayers? No, not necessarily. I feel the energy. If the energy is not there, I don't go to that person. About energy, I'm actually talking about like how we connected was like on a spiritual connection. Because I knew myself and he know himself, and so we connected.
It's a good question, my guy. Well, that depends on the industry that a person is in. Like, for instance, with me being that I'm in the trucking business, and I started off on the dispatching side. Interest rates really didn't affect me because I basically got paid off of like loads, you know. So like, say if a person made $7,000 last week, so I basically got paid off of that $7,000 regardless of whatever was going on, you know. But that's a
good question.
That's a good question, man.